All across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos.
A lovely afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. My name is Grace Nwafo. The federal government may sell the 11 power distribution companies through a reprivatization process if the Electricity Act Amendment Bill 2025, currently before the National Assembly, becomes law. The National Assembly has already initiated a legislative process to enforce sweeping reforms that could see core investors in electricity distribution companies lose their stakes if they fail to improve their investment. The amendment bill, sponsored by Senator Enyin Naya Abaribe, seeks to overhaul the 2023 Electricity Act by addressing regulatory gaps as it warned that investors risking losing their stakes through share dilution, receivership, or outright reprivatization if fresh capital is not injected into the sector within 12 months, following years of poor performance and a worsening debt crisis. This clause comes into effect immediately after an assent is granted to the ongoing amendment of the Electricity Act 2023. The bill has passed its second reading and is currently undergoing further legislative actions and discussions. And from the political space, the African Democratic Congress has ruled out the possibility of Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, returning to the People's Democratic Party. The coalition party stated that such a move would be politically too risky for the former governor of Anambra State. This was made known by the ADC spokesman Bolaji Abdullahi in an interview with newsmen. Abdullahi, a former PDP chieftain and ex-minister of sport and youth, and sport, dismissed reports suggesting the PDP was trying to woo Obi back to the party. He insisted that the former governor remained an integral part of the coalition of opposition parties being spearheaded by the ADC ahead of the 2027 function. Those suspended include commissioners, senior special assistant, and permanent secretary. In a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Monde Uzo, said they were suspended for failing to attend an important government function. Report says that the affected officials are, are to proceed on a 1 month working suspension without salary. He listed 25 commissioners, 14 senior special assistants, 24 special assistants, and 22 permanent secretaries as those affected in the suspension. The suspension takes effect, and the suspended officials are barred from signing any official document during the period. And from Edo State, the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebolo, has suspended his special advisor on oil and gas, Felix Osewengi Isere, for alleged unauthorization fundraising over an upcoming and gas summit in the state. The suspension was announced followed a protest by some aggrieved party members who stormed the State House of Assembly to call for the sacking of Ojelabi and other party chieftains over what they described as imposition of candidate and anti-grassroots leadership. The party chairman, however, forwarded a call describing the action as baseless. The protesters from different local councils in the state held placards with various inscriptions. They called for inclusion, fairness, and an end to what they described as top-down manipulation of local politics. Ojelabi, however, described the claims by the aggrieved members as baseless and lacking substance. He said he was not bothered by the protest, noting that things would no longer be business as usual in the party. He also faulted claims that his leadership was not beneficial to the aggrieved members. He said the aggrieved members are people who did not have a grassroots base but believe that an imposition is ongoing. And from Ghana, some Ghanaians have protested against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in mass prostitution and ritual killing in their country. In a viral video, the protesters in their large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions such as armed robbery and violent attacks must stop, among others. They also displayed a picture of a man who was allegedly killed by a Nigerian in the Accra area of the country. Speaking, one of the protesters said Nigerians have taken over their major market and are perpetrating evil of sorts in their country. Recall that a similar occurrence, popularly christened Ghana Must Go, happened in 1983 when the Nigerian government, under President Shehu Shagari, enacted a directive ordering about 2 million undocumented immigrants, many of whom were Ghanaians, to leave the country. As of the time of this report, the Ghanaian government is yet to comment on the situation and the plight of their countrymen on returning Nigerians to their country, irrespective of their status. This is still the news unknown on 24 News Radio and Television. Still to come, my news from the foreign scene and the world of sport. Stay with us.
Welcome to 24 News Radio and Television, your trusted companion for real-time updates, expert analysis, and compelling conversations. We bring the world closer to you with clear, credible, and concise information at every moment. With our seasoned reporters and sharp broadcasters, we dig deep to uncover the facts behind the headlines from your neighborhood to the global stage. Stay connected with 24 News Radio and Television for breaking news and current happenings across the globe. 24 News Radio and Television. The world is closer than you think.
Glad to know that you're still there, just joining us. This is the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Over now to the foreign scene. Iran said it has not interfered in negotiations aimed at securing a ceasefire in Gaza after US President Donald Trump claimed Tehran had issued orders to Palestinian group Hamas. Trump, while speaking with newsmen during a visit to Scotland, said the Iranians had interjected themselves in this last negotiation between Israel and Hamas, which ended last week with no breakthrough. Iran, a close ally and backer of Hamas, dismissed Trump's remarks as absolutely baseless. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqi called the claim a form of projection and evasion of responsibility and accountability on the U.S. president's part. According to Baqi, Hamas negotiators do not need the intervention of third parties as the group recognizes and pursues the interests of the oppressed people of Gaza in the most appropriate manner. And still from Gaza, Gaza's civil defense has said Israeli airstrikes killed at least 30 Palestinians, including women and children, in the central Nuseirat district. Civil Defense Agency spokesman Mahmoud Bassal said the strikes were carried out overnight and into the morning and targeted a number of citizens' homes in the Nuseirat refugee camp. The local Al-Ad hospital said it had received the bodies of 30 martyrs, including 14 women and 12 children. And now from the world of sports. Following their triumph at the just concluded 2024 WAFCON tournament in Morocco, the 24 players and 11 technical crew of the Super Falcons were rewarded with a cash prize of 4.602 billion naira, as well as the national honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger by President Bola Tinubu. The players and officials were also given the sum of 350 million naira by the Nigerian Governors Forum, taking their cash reward to 4.952 billion naira during their reception at the presidential villa. Nigeria won the WAFCON title for a record extending 10th time at Saturdays after coming back from 2 goals to beat host country Morocco 3-2 in the final at the Rabat Olympiadium. The thrilling performance and dominance marked the 10th triumph of the Falcons on the continental stage after their previous triumphs in 1998, 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2010, 2014, 2016, and 2018. That is a wrap on the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Do stay tuned for more programs will be coming your way. My name is Grace Nwafo. Have a lovely afternoon.
Breaking news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos.